Hello everyone and welcome to Advanced English Conversation. Today's conversation revolves around the expression a blessing in disguise. Blessing is something good, a favor, something nice happens to us. In disguise means putting on concealment or having a false appearance. Now when we combine the phrase a blessing in disguise, it means that apparently some misfortune, something bad, terrible, at first happens to us, and later on we find out it is beautiful, it's wonderful, it's nice. Without that misfortune, we wouldn't have got that blessing. So that terrible experience is a blessing in disguise. A blessing, disguising, putting on concealment. For example, this person got late for work, and being late for work saved him or her from a terrible multiple car accident. He says, getting late for work turned out to be a blessing in disguise. I would have been in the middle of that big multiple car pile-up had I left the house on time. Of course, getting late for work is terrible, but being in a car accident is worse. So, being late for work is a blessing in disguise, is something useful compared to that terrible accident. Another example, losing a job. It really hurts when someone loses his job or her job. But later people find out that losing that job, led them to something better, to something more advantageous, something more useful. This guy says, losing that job turned out to be a blessing in disguise. I ended up pursuing my real passion, architecture. So this person, he wouldn't have been an architect without losing the job. So losing the job turned out to be something beautiful, a blessing. Pete also found out that having a knee fracture isn't that terrible, isn't that bad. Why? He had the time and the rest to refocus. He says, when Pete fractured his knee, it was a blessing in disguise, for he got some much needed rest and refocused on some essential things in his life. Without that knee fracture, he wouldn't have rearranged his life. He wouldn't have got enough rest to refocus again. Now let's move on to the conversation. Stephen, Dad's illness turned out to be a blessing in disguise. It brought the family together for the first time in years. Carl, wow, how nice. As they say, every cloud has a silver lining. Stephen, he's pursuing his painting hobby and, contrary to all expectations, he announced that he wouldn't go back to work anymore. Carl, fabulous. He seems to be unshaken at all. I thought his life would turn upside down. Stephen, yeah, at least he was able to shake it off. Vocabulary. A blessing in disguise, something that seems bad or unlucky at first but causes something good to happen later. Bring together, to cause people to join or meet, to unify. Every cloud has a silver lining. Every difficult or sad situation has a comforting or more helpful aspect. Find out, to gain knowledge of something. Learn. Contrary to expectations. Although people thought it would be different. Anymore, to any further extent, any longer. Unshaken, adjective. Not disturbed. Steadfast and unwavering. Turn upside down, to put in disorder, mix or mess up. Shake something off, to get rid of an illness. Thank you so much for watching and see you in another advanced conversation.